Here's the thing, making money online is so easy, and I'm just gonna show you what you need to do first before you make any money online, because it can completely change your life. So where I was currently at, I was working 3 jobs, working 21 hours a day, earning $20 an hour, just barely scrape by and hitting that 10K a month. But it all changed when I started up my marketing agency. So I'm just gonna show you guys what you need to do to mentally prepare yourself to start making good numbers like 25, 50, and even making your first 10K a month. As I said, I run a marketing agency here in Australia, and yeah, let's just jump straight into it. So pretty much there's a few different things you need to do. So obviously, you need to get your mindset right. Before you do anything else first, you need to get your mindset right. Because if you don't have your mindset right, if you don't have the foundation right, everything else is just going to fail. Everything else will just fail. The reason why I'm saying that is because I was in the exact same position as you. Lost, scared, uncertain. I didn't know what my first steps were to actually create money. I bought all the courses in the world. I bought coaching, but it's still just basically, obviously it helped a lot because obviously I got trained by someone who knows a lot more than what I did. They obviously helped me make my first money online, but even with having all that right stuff there, my mindset still wasn't right to make my first bit of money online because I was still thinking from a state of mind of, oh, I'm still trapped by my job. What am I gonna do if I don't make money this month? Well, you gotta not even consider that. I had loans, I had loans at the time. So, you know, I was just living in that full breadth and uncertainty, but all you gotta do is just go into it. You gotta live from an abundance type of mindset. Essentially, you've got to use the skills that you've been coached, you've been taught on how to make money online, to make money online. It's that simple. I know you guys are thinking, oh, but you're running a marketing agency, isn't that hard? Because you've got to do sales, you've got to do content, you've got to do all this sort of stuff, and it's like, no, it's really not. All it is just 3 basic skills. So obviously 1, it's content, 2, it's sales, and 3, it's learning how to run ads. It is that simple. And the good thing is that you can charge high ticket prices. So let's just say, hey, I've got a client worth $5,000 a month. That's like a normal wage here in Australia. $5,000 from one client in a month is a normal wage. And you're thinking, is that even possible? You have no idea the numbers that are even possible. I could be happily charging a client a retainer of 10K a month, but I'm still building up the foundation, building up my skills, and still trying to get there. That's the thing. And honestly, if you guys want to learn more, click the link below in the description, book in a call with me. Obviously you can work with me one-on-one, and I can show you the skills that I learned and help you start your first marketing agency to build it all the way up to 10K a month. It is that simple. So yeah, making 25K a month. You guys might think, hey, it's a scary number. It's really not. Because if you think about it, how many conversations do you need to have? How many people do you need to speak to on a daily basis? Why do you need to speak to these people? Because the more and more people you speak to, the more and more yes, no, or no's in my opinion. So the more people who know about your business, the better it is. Because then again, hey, if you think about it, let's just say if a client said no, or a potential client said no, they could always just come back to you in a couple of months and be like, oh, I still need marketing services. Or if you just follow them up, be a constant reminder, be in their face, you know, just tell them, hey, like, if you need any help with marketing, I can then help you out from there. As I said, it's just basic sales, basic lead generation. That's all you got to do, is just help them out, help them move forward. And remember, they're going on a journey, they're dealing with uncertainty, they're in the same position as you. They don't know if it's going to work, if it's just another thing that's like, oh, well, might not even work this time, but, you know, let's just give it a shot. Because if you think about it, the world's completely uncertain. You don't know what's going to happen today, tomorrow, next year, next month. What's going to happen in regards to your wage, if you're going to get fired from your job. What's going to happen? You don't know what's going to happen from tomorrow, well, literally from the next 30 seconds onwards. Like, yeah. So you've got to sort of go into that uncertainty. You've got to live in it for a little bit. I know it's going to make you feel uncomfortable. I know it's going to feel very weird as well, considering, you know, you're going into uncertainty. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know the result. You don't know the outcome. You don't know what's going to happen next. You don't know, honestly, how anything's going to go. That's the thing. You've got to keep on playing your life. You probably didn't expect to have kids as early as you did. You probably didn't expect to, honestly, be in this current job that you're in, and you're like, I don't like uncertainty, but sorry, you've got to play with uncertainty, especially when you're running a business. And that's why I say to people, if you want to minimize the amount of uncertainty, hire a coach, hire someone who's actually done this before. That can then help you out. They can show you the skills, the guidance, and how you can end up getting people on board so that you can start making money without having to be like, I've got to learn a whole new skill set. I've got to figure out what I've got to say, what I've got to do. How am I meant to position my offer? You don't even need to worry about any of that. They will guide you from what worked with them, how it's worked with other people who have been in the exact same position as you. So like, for example, I've already worked with a few coaching clients. Actually, a few is a bit of an understatement. I've already worked with coaching clients. I help them create an offer, position it, and then help them obviously sell it because they're selling high ticket. You got a lot more, there's a bit more difficulty in the sales. There's a bit more difficulty in the sales, but there's obviously ways you can minimize that. You can start to move things forward with the client without having so much resistance, because it's like, hey, am I trying to be sold to, or are they trying to build up a relationship here? Because the only way you got to do things is through relationships. That's the only way that you win in this world. Too many people have a mindset of, hey, I'm just doing this for the money. It's not about that. It's about your freedom, and it's about helping your customer get into a better position. And it works the exact same way in business. And that should be your primary focus as someone who wants to get into business, who is ambitious about business, and who wants to end up starting their business. And honestly, as I said, this is why I say the marketing agency business model is by far the best business model. You help people solve their problems, because a lot of these people's problems is financial. They don't know what's going to happen from month to month. They don't know what's going to happen to their income. They don't know how they're going to get more leads. They don't know how they're going to get more people. What? You're going to spend all day on the phone. What about all the admin work? What about, obviously, your wife, your kids? It's a full-time job just running sales. Obviously, I understand hiring people, but that only caps out as so much. So either A, you make their life easier by getting them to produce more content. B, you run paid ads, run it to an inbound lead system where you dial them up, call them, and then you can move them forward. Or C, we create content that makes people come to you, book in a call, and makes your life a ton easier. That's by far the easiest way how to do it. Because the business owners don't have to worry about stress. They don't have to worry about, what am I gonna do today? How am I gonna get paid? How am I going to pay rent? Because if you don't realize, there's actually a lot of different business owners who live in pure uncertainty. There's a lot of people who don't even know what's gonna happen today, tomorrow, next year, next month. Like literally in regards to their pay. They just live paycheck to paycheck, and honestly, we can change that from being their reality to be more so from an abundant sort of mindset of, you know what, there's going to be sales on my door tomorrow. I don't need to worry about a thing. I can say no to some people. I can say yes to some people. And honestly, I'm just going to be in a good position no matter what happens. I'm honestly just going to be in a good position no matter what happens, how we attack things, where we want to go, or, you know, you've just got full abundance of opportunity. That's also another thing. When you have a mindset of pure abundance of opportunity, you have the world open up to you. You have the world speak your language and will show you the way. Literally, it does. It's done that for me as well. It's like, hold on, give me a second. I'm just going to walk up a bit from the water. But yeah, so it's like, if you can get them in a state of being abundant, there's endless opportunities that will open to them. They can then spend money to afford those opportunities. They can then maybe, even if the opportunity is maybe hanging out with your family more, hanging out with your mates more, because they've been so tied down by their work, by their business, you can then make that opportunity an actual reality. That's the thing, and obviously that's why I tell you guys, starting a business is the best way you can do things. Because you're not trapped by the system, you're not trapped by inflation, you're not trapped by someone else telling you what to do, you're not trapped by all these types of things. All you gotta do is just put in the work. You've got to end up getting yourself an ecosystem, which I know it sounds a lot more difficult than what it is. It really isn't. There's only 3 steps to it. which I can show you how. So yeah, if you guys want to work with me one-on-one, click the link in the description, book in a call, and we can have just a quick one-on-one chat and see if the marketing agency business model is right for you. But thing is that once you get that abundance mindset, once you realize the way life truly is, and it should be an abundance of opportunity, you should be able to essentially do more at your want. Life is not, well, obviously I enjoy working, so life is meant to be one of creation. Life is meant to be one where you create, you build, you design, and you desire to build whatever else you want to create, or you desire to build, you know, many different things. So, like for me, for example, I've got a massive ambition, I've got a massive desire to build and create. That's one of my greatest achievements as a man. Obviously, I want to have a family, I want to have kids, but I'm very particular on who. So it's like, if I build this life up now, if I create, if I build projects that actually help people, what's actually going to happen to me long term? How's that going to affect me mentally? How's that going to affect me spiritually? How's that going to affect me, oh, did I say spiritually? Physically as well. Because they're all interconnected. It's all part of the one same formula. That's all it is. That's all it is. You just got to figure out what do you need to do that can help you with obviously actually getting the right seeds so you can then plant them. Just keep on watering them, keep on watering them. There's the law of, I'm pretty sure it's like, law of like gematria or something like that. But anyway, it's one of the universal laws. So what you gotta do is just plant those seeds, nurture them, nurture them, nurture them, up until they end up sprouting, whether it's into a really good mate, whether it's into a partnership, whether it's into you signing that client, or even getting that dream business and hitting that dream 10K a month that you guys have been desiring for so long. Because we all know you're not gonna hit into your 9-to-5 jobs, even if it's a high paying job. How much time do you actually need to spend in your 9-to-5 job? That's not including you being taxed, so it's really like 6 or 7K. Maybe a bit more than that. Let's just say 8K best case scenario. So let's just say 8K. Then after that, you've got to pay taxes. That's including some of your taxes. That's not including stuff like fuel, food, water, drinks, because especially in Australia, like we pay 10% tax on pretty much everything. I don't know what it's like in the UK or US, but that's how it is like in Australia. Then after that, you've then got to pay stuff like, you've also then got to basically pay for your mortgage, or your rent, which is majority of your funds already gone, which is around 50% after all of that. And that's not even including inflation, which eats away 10% of your cash per annum. They all say it's 2 or 3%, but we all know that they're lying. And it's like, honestly, what you need to do now is just put in the work, put in the effort, and figure out how you're gonna help people move forward. What are you gonna do to basically get them from a position of full uncertainty so then you can help them move forward? How can you then obviously be purely uncertain? You're starting your business. You're speaking to them, whether it's through messages, whether it's through the phone, whether it's purely through content, which is honestly the best way to get leads. How are you then going to help them move forward? What are you going to say? What makes them actually tick? How can you help them move forward? What processes do you have? I know this all seems complicated. This is obviously why I show you guys how to coach. Well, not coach. This is why I show you guys how to start a marketing agency. And that's why I coach you on what's worked for me. Because otherwise I wouldn't be sitting to you guys telling you guys how I ended up making my marketing agency over 6 figures a year, all at the age of 21. It's like, honestly, it's by far the best skill set to have. But it's just showing, you're just showing people essentially that you care, that you want to help them. It's all you're doing at the end of the day. And that's how sales should be. It's also like when it comes to content. What pain point are you trying to solve? What is your biggest fear? What is your biggest desire? How can I help you run away from that pain? How can I help you run towards the conditions that you want to be towards? So, as I said, whether it's making 10K a month, whether it's full location freedom, whether it's full-time freedom, whether you want to start hiring people out so then you can start to run your business from the back end. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of work in the beginning, but I'm literally not gonna lie to you guys. There's going to be a lot of work in the beginning, but that's what makes it so worth it. Yeah?
Have you seen my dog?
I haven't seen your dog.
It's American Staffy.
I haven't seen him anywhere.
Okay. Did you see one?
Yeah, I'll
My
let you.
house is down there.
Yeah.
with a palm tree out the front. Can you?
Yeah, I'll let you know if I find them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, that was just a lost dog. Haven't seen him before, but yeah, what was I going on about? But yeah, it's like, I even lost my train of thought, but it's like once you can see that dream, once you can honestly see that in your mind, because I know, honestly, if you're watching this, and if you watch it this far, you don't want to work a 9 to 5, and 9 to 5 doesn't suit you. I completely understand that. I completely understand that. 9 to 5 doesn't suit you. You want to build out your own life. You want to build out your dreams. Like, you've probably got dreams of going to Miami. You've probably got dreams of living in New York. It's like, I understand that. I've been there. But, oh yeah, that's right. That's what I was getting on to. But it's like, what are you going to do? How are you going to help people solve their pain? Everyone's got pain. Just you got to figure out who's your right type of audience. Who do you speak to the most? And how are you going to solve their problem so they don't need to get their solution solved by anyone else? If you really think about it, that's why I run marketing. That's why I love sales, because you help people solve their problems. Obviously, as I was saying earlier, you've got to play with their fears, you've got to play with their desires, so then you can help them move forward. You've got to put their desire, it's like a chasing monster behind them. And then you've got to put their desires at the very end of the goalpost once they have then put in the work. Because you're not going to be able to solve any problem of yours if you don't put in the work, put in the time, put in the energy, put in the effort to try and get rid of that problem in the first place. Because even if you try and do like a quick term fix, it's not going to work. Let's just say, hey, you quit your job, you stop working, and it's like, hey, you still get freedom, but you don't get any cash, you don't get access to doing what you want. Yes, you're going to reduce down your tax. Yes, you're not going to get paid as much, if at all. But it's like, what are you truly going to achieve out of it long term? It's like, it's freedom, but you can't pay and do anything that you want. You don't live life for free. Isn't that what you really want? But really think about it for a minute. What do you truly want to do? Where do you truly want to go? As I said, I don't reckon you guys want to be trapped in your 9 to 5 for the rest of your lives. I honestly do not reckon you guys want to be trapped in your 9 to 5 for the rest of your lives, because it's just the same dull, boring process over and over and over again. It's like, what are you getting out of it? Yes, you may be helping people, but you're sluggish, you're exhausted, you're literally in so much pain when you wake up from your bed, 6 a.m. Here we go again, Monday to Friday. And it doesn't have to be that way. It really doesn't. And that's why I suggest people start a marketing agency. Honestly, if you want, just book in a call, the link below, sign up to my coaching. If you want, just keep on watching. As long as you guys get some value from it, I don't really mind. But yeah, as I said, like, as long as you guys learn something, gain a bit of value, even like I help you with your mindset, that's all I'm really doing this for. But one thing I will tell you to do, let me just get up this other video. Watch this video on your screen over here. How making 25K a month changed my life. So yeah, watch that video on the screen over here, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.